What's going on, Deadbeat friends? Dan Brock, the Deadbeat Super Affiliate. In this video, I want to talk about how I made $1,000 per month online playing video games when I was 13 years old. Alright, so this video is a bit of a tangent from my usual affiliate marketing topics, but there is a relation to affiliate marketing somewhere in this video content. Alright, so when I was 13, there was a specific video game out there that I'll talk about in just a second when I flip to my computer. In a nutshell, in this game, when you killed monsters, those monsters would drop items in the game. Now, these items actually held a particular value, a cash value, and when you took those items and sold them on eBay, you could make money by doing that. So during this whole experience, I learned some very basic but powerful principles that I now build every single one of my online businesses off of. All right, so this applies to affiliate marketing and online business in this way, whatever that means. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip to my computer, show you some screenshots in the game itself to kind of help this make sense for you and teach you what I learned from this particular game. All right, Deadbeats, let's get to the fun stuff. Here we go. All right, Deadbeats, so here are the lessons that I learned from making money playing video games. So the lessons that I learned were the foundation principles that I use now in all my businesses that I make nowadays. All right, so this game was called Diablo 2. I don't know if you're familiar with it. If you're not, I'm just gonna give you a quick little rundown of how I was able to make money with it. All right, so it took about 6 months or so to level your character enough to be able to beat this particular boss character. This boss character was called Mephisto. Now, he wasn't like the big main boss. He was just kind of like a second tier boss, not as powerful as the big dudes, but he more frequently would drop gear that was worth real money. So I built my entire character around exploiting this boss's weakness so that I could kill him by himself. So when this boss died, I got to keep all the treasure that he dropped. Now, meanwhile, everyone else was going after this guy. He was the main boss. His name was Bale. Let me just circle him. Everyone would go after him. Now, in order to beat this dude, you needed a party of like 4 or 5 other guys with you. Now, every once in a while, this guy would drop some super rare items that were worth hundreds of dollars each. But I found through doing this that it wasn't worth the time investment. See, he would only drop that item one out of like 20 or 30 kills. So between that and the fact that you needed 4 people to kill him, your chances of getting that item were so low that it wouldn't pay off enough for it to be worth it to you. So while everyone was focusing on that guy, I geared my character specifically to kill this dude. Now, what would happen is it would take me about 20 minutes to do a run. Basically, that was going through the entire act to get to the boss and kill him. So about 20 minutes of time was what it would take to kill the boss one time. Now, you could do this over and over again. Now, he wouldn't drop valuable gear every time, but it was like 1 out of every 3 kills, he would drop an item that was worth $50 to $100. So when you killed him, boom, he's dead. He would drop these items. Now your character, since you're the only one there, since I was the only one there, I would pick all those items up and they would become mine. They would go into my treasure chest, they'd be in my possession. Now, out of every 3 times, you get a $50 to $70 item, and in between, he would drop some what I called smalls. So smalls are just like $10 items that you could end up selling. All right, so back to the point. You got the treasure, you pick it up, it'd be in your possession, and then what I would do is I'd head over to eBay and list it on eBay. So here's actually an eBay listing that's on here today. This is for Diablo 3. This is like the next version of the game. So people are still actively making money doing this. But that's not the point. The point is the lessons that I learned from doing this. All right, so let's flip back to my little snazzy little screen here. All right, so here's the lessons that I learned. Number 1, it was possible to make money online and doing something you love. All right, so I like playing this game. Yeah, eventually it became work. It became work. Once I started making good money, I was obsessed with getting more and more of these items. So eventually I stopped liking it as much, but it was still something fun. It was better than going to, I think other kids my age were doing things like McDonald's and stuff. It was a lot more fun for me to work from home on my own, be my own boss. And this proved to me, this was like that aha moment that I could do it online. See, in the past, prior to that, I always had small little businesses like a Pokemon trading business, Pokemon card trading business. But this is the first time I realized it could be done online and doing stuff that I actually love to do. The second thing I learned, and this is something I apply to everything I do nowadays, is that it's harder to acquire. It's harder to acquire a customer versus selling an existing customer a product. So what I mean by this is, let me just give you an example in the game. After I put the items up on eBay, I started to build a customer list. And that list was basically just, I knew their emails, I knew their in-game handles. So what I tried to do is, instead of listing it up on eBay, once I knew what a customer wanted, I would just send them a private message over the game itself, and I'd promote that product that I found to them. Now I found that it was much easier to sell to those people than it was to go on eBay and acquire brand new customers. So that's just a lesson that applies to any business nowadays. The hardest part is getting the first customer, and once you have that customer, once they trust you and they like your products, it's much easier to sell them more. It takes less energy to do that than it does to acquire a second customer. So basically, treat your existing customers like gold. The third lesson that I learned is that you must poll your customers. All right, so to give you a perfect example of this, in the game, initially, I was talking about this Mephisto boss here. He would drop 1 out of every 3 times that $70 item. So let's just pretend that, let me circle it. Let's just pretend that $70 item was this little red dot on the screen. Now, in addition to that item, and pretty frequently, he dropped these other smaller ones that initially I thought were worthless. I thought they were just junk. So what I do is I just get them, sell them for gold in the game, and be done with it. But after I polled some of my customers and asked them what they wanted, I also found out that these items that I was just throwing away were actually worth $5, $10, $20 themselves. So now that equipped with that piece of knowledge, anytime those little smalls would drop, I knew that I had specific customers who were interested in those types of products. So that's just like I kept like a little mental database of which customer wanted which. All right, fourth lesson this is one of the most important lessons. I apply this to every single business I do, is that do the opposite of everyone else. Do the opposite of everyone else. All right, so everyone's idea, like I said, was to go after the Act 5 boss. This was the main guy, and yes, he would drop the best stuff, but it was so rare that it wasn't worth it. So I adopted the strategy to just kind of think outside the box and go the exact different direction of everyone else. So by doing this allowed me to make all the money. I was the only one doing this. I was making a lot of money doing it simply because everyone else, the whole herd, was going after this guy. So if you know, with my affiliate marketing stuff, I do the same thing. While everyone was going to ClickBank, I make money with Amazon affiliate marketing and physical products. Basically what the mainstream group is doing, I just go the exact opposite route and try to make usually the smaller piece of the pie, I try to get more of the smaller piece of pie. So you could consider this boss, smaller piece of the pie, so to speak. Now the fifth thing that I learned is that people with money will trade that money for time and power. All right, so time and power is more valuable to some people than money is. So let me give you an example of this. One of my main customers, my best customer, he was in this game, was a high-powered lawyer. He made a ton of money. I don't even ask how I figured this out. I basically just messaged him and I was like, dude, I just don't understand, like, why do you keep, I'm happy that you do buy all my stuff. I'm just curious, like, why do you keep spending such good money for these items? He was basically like, my real job, I'm a lawyer. I make like some insane amount of money, like $500 an hour. And basically it makes more sense for me to spend $50 and $100 at a time for your stuff because I'm making so much money. So he was willing to trade his money to save him hours and hours of his time. Now, I was a 13-year-old kid, so that $100 to me was, worth a lot more than it is to him, obviously. All right, so he was willing to trade it for time, and the items themselves gave him more power. Now, granted, it was just power inside the game, but people are addicted to power, whether it be through gaming, real life, whatever it is, they're willing to trade money for power as well. So time and power. If you ever make a business that can do either of these two, you have something that someone will always pay money for. All right, so the sixth tip is to reframe your mind to think in terms of opportunity. All right, so what I mean by this is that you need to shift. This is such a hard tip to explain how to do this, but you need to shift your perspective and look at everything that happens in life as some chance to turn it into an opportunity. All right, so this is just really has nothing to do with being smarter or more clever than everyone else. It's just a way of shifting your mindset from having fun or enjoying an event or whatever it is to thinking about instead how you can make money off of these events. I know it really doesn't make sense. Basically, when I'm playing the game, I'm thinking, maybe I could turn this into money somehow. Or look, this guy just dropped this item. Maybe if I do this again, he'll drop it again. And if he drops it again, that means I can do it more and I can make more money doing it over and over again. All right, so everything that happens in your life, every minute that you spend, think of it from a position of how you can turn this into money. It's kind of a skill. It's a different mindset. It takes a little bit of time to develop. But if you start thinking in this terms, this is how you find these hidden opportunities that no one else really knows about. All right, so that's tip number 6. That wasn't a very concrete tip, though. I know it's abstract. Tip number 7, final tip, and that is eventually I learned that trading time for money is a losing game. This is exactly why the lawyer was paying me money instead. So trading time for money is a losing business. All right, so what I mean by this is that if you have to do any kind of activity or business where you have to invest a direct portion of time for a direct portion of money, this is not something that you want to be in. Yeah, you can make some good money doing it, but normally, or unless you're making $10,000, $20,000 a pop, you want to avoid trading your time for a specific portion of money. So after I learned this lesson, I started to rethink about every opportunity that I saw. If I thought of an opportunity, if it required me to trade my time for money, I would cancel that idea out. So this would give me less opportunities to make money on, but now I'm focused and looking at the right kind of opportunities. All right, so this is what led me to starting a web hosting company. I knew that since customers were paying me monthly, that means that I wouldn't be trading my time directly for money. I'd be able to snowball the profits because I'd put in a small amount of time and I'd get exponential return by having customers that paid me money. Those customers every month, and those customers would stack upon each other. So it would create kind of like an exponential growth curve there. So that's how I reshaped my mind, just to look at ways to make money without having to trade time directly. So that led me to web hosting and eventually affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing is basically what I do now to make a full-time living. I know this is a bit of a tangent. Affiliate marketing is what I recommend you guys do right now if you're watching this channel, especially if you're a beginner. I do have a guide for that. I know this is out of the blue, but here on this page is the guide that I put together that shows you step by step how to earn affiliate commissions through Amazon.com. So this is not trading time for money directly. Initially it is when you start the business, but the benefit is that your content will start to snowball, your YouTube channel will start to grow exponentially. And when you put in, say, an hour of work today, you'll make dividends, so to speak, from that hour years upon years from now. All right, so that's the business model I recommend everyone get into now, especially if you're a beginner, if you're trying to make money online. It's not video gaming, although you could make a video game affiliate site if that's something you're interested in. Anyway, for that guide, go to deadbeatuniversity.com/guide. I'll put that URL up right here. This is 100% free. Again, it shows you step by step how to earn passive income through Amazon.com. All right, Deadbeats. So I know this video was a huge tangent. I hope you enjoyed it. So just something that I thought I'd create. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. There'll be buttons around here somewhere. Share this video with your friends and comment below if you have any questions about anything I talked about here in this video. My name is Dan Brock, the Deadbeats Super Affiliate, and I'll see you Deadbeats later.